Well, that's what you told me. You said if you never got better, I would still want to do this with you.
Yeah.
If you never got well, I
Yeah.
don't need you to be.
I don't need you to be any different than what you are. I never did.
No one had ever said that to me before in my life, so it shocked me, and it took me months to understand what you meant.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, that's what love is.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you actually see someone for who they are.
Welcome to the Later in Life podcast. I'm Jackie.
I'm Tori.
I'm Canadian.
I'm American.
And I thought I was straight.
And now she's with me.
We are online friends turned lovers. Join us as we navigate relationships, healing, sexuality, identity shifts, and all the chaos that comes with figuring yourself out later in life.
How do I get out of the friend zone? I'm stuck in a one-way, no way left.
It's podcast day.
Podcast day. What day is it?
Sunday.
Oh,
It's Sunday today.
I would have guessed Thursday.
I lose track of the days.
Me too.
It is ridiculous how much I have no idea what day it is half the time.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well, I don't know. What's new this week? What did we do this week? We booked a wedding day.
We did. September
2nd. September 2nd is the day. It's pretty wild. Because it's only been 5 months.
Six.
Six.
It is July.
It is July.
It is 6 months.
So by the time we get married, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, it'll be 7 months.
Yeah.
It'll be 7 months.
Which in lesbian years is that's like
5
a decade.
years?
Yeah.
It's like a decade?
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels kind of like a shotgun wedding.
Yeah. But we're so old, you know?
Right.
Like I'm too old.
Would you be getting married like this quickly if there wasn't like an international thing that we needed to figure out?
Probably not.
No.
I think that's interesting. If I lived close enough by,
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
But it's this way for a reason,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But if you don't marry me, they send me back home. So.
It's true. It's true. And I like you a little bit too much. I don't want you to go home.
Well, now I have this problem where when you're not around, I have this thing that's missing. And now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And now I try to sleep without you, and
And you can't do it.
I can, but it's not as much fun.
Right. That's so interesting because I remember when I first met you, you could not sleep beside me. Like you made me sleep in the other room.
Yeah. I've never been able to sleep next to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm all sleepy all the time with you.
Yeah. For some reason, when you came here, we were able to navigate not sleeping together because you were staying somewhere else and I had to stay here with my child. And so there was no experience of that. But then when I went to Florida the first time and we stayed together, that's when you were like, oh, by the way, I'm very autistic and I can't sleep next to people, or I have a lot of trauma and I can't sleep next to people. Can you please go sleep in the other room?
Yeah. And you were like, what the fuck?
I remember lying in bed. I'm like, is this going to be what it's like forever? Because I don't know if I could be okay with that. Mm-hmm. And what's so interesting is that it ended up just resolving on its own. Like I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. It just sort of resolved on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now I'm sleepy all the time.
Yeah. Now just being in my presence makes you sleepy.
Yeah.
Must be my nervous system.
Yeah. I feel like I can't think of everything off the top of my head right now. I feel like a lot of things resolved when I met you. Like when I was finally with the right person.
Yeah.
And I stopped trying to fit myself in with people that I wasn't supposed to be with.
Yeah.
A lot of things that used to be issues became non-issues.
Right.
I can't think of very many specific examples right now, but I know that I felt that way.
Well, I know a big one that you've had in the past was your music, people not understanding the amount of time and energy that you put into your music.
Right. Oh yeah. I had exes that I would fight with over time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't spend 6 days a week with you.
Yeah.
I have to carve out time to do my own things. And writing songs requires you to be by yourself. And I can't just like be on top of someone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing about music is like the amount of attention that you get when you play music was problematic for, I would say, like maybe everyone
Yeah.
that I dated.
Yeah.
The cat sounds like a monster outside.
Every day. Every day.
Should we let her in, or do you think she'll...
No, I think she'll chill out. She'll chill out.
She's got her paws under the door. Look at her. The paws
like,
are
"Let
under
me
the
in
door. She's trying to
here."
pry the door open with her paws.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you do get a lot of attention. And I think I remember saying in the beginning, like I knew you for 2 years before we started dating. And I witnessed like all of the women that would throw themselves at you.
It was men too. It was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a good like year and a half where I was like really doing the music hard and things were going really well. Like I didn't sustain that much like intention and success for that long, for the entire like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a good like year at least where I was really like killing it, and I got a lot of attention, and some of it was bad. Like, I mean, people would come up to me and like pretend like they wanted to tell me something, and then when I turned my head, they would kiss me.
Yeah.
Like they would do things like that actually like I did not enjoy. But every girl that I dated had a problem with it, and I get why. I don't know how I would feel if I was on the other end of that, but I thought it would probably like be best if I just stopped dating altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. And you did. You made that declaration to me like many times, how, you know, I can't have a relationship and the life that I want to have.
Right. I didn't think I could have both.
Yeah. Like you'd have to be with somebody who really is secure in the relationship. It's not even just, well, it's secure in yourself and secure in the relationship. I think it's both. But I think it starts with the self.
I know a lot of people who work in entertainment who don't date for the same reasons.
Yeah.
And it seems like the better they do, the worse that gets. Like their world gets smaller and smaller, and the people in it, there's just less and less. But I guess if you find the right people, there just aren't very many people like that. Who are okay with it.
Not a lot of people who are secure enough in themselves. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree with that.
But you know I'm not going anywhere.
No, I know. You moved across the fucking continent. You moved across a continent to be here.
Yeah.
Remember? She bought me a ring. It's so funny because there were times in the beginning of the relationship where, and it wasn't even like your behavior was making me doubt it. It was just my trauma. It was just my trauma. And I'd be like, you know, even though you bought me a wedding ring, you bought a Jeep because I wanted it. You moved across, you know, the United States to be with me. I was like, I still had moments where I was like, does she like me?
Does she even like me?
She writes songs about how she's in love with me, but does she like me? It's just so funny how those things, like, they don't necessarily go away. You just stop. I just stop, like, hearing them and thinking they're true. Mm-hmm. And, you know, experiencing them as truth. I know you love me.
The cat loves me.
The cat does love you.
Like, she's accepted me being here.
Mm-hmm. So on my online platform, I have a lot of conversations about relationships and about, you know, security in relationships. And one of the conversations that I have been having a lot lately is about conflict, about experiencing conflict in relationships.
Yeah.
And I
was thinking about the people that leave comments on your TikToks.
Yeah.
And how I want to say things to all of them.
Yeah.
But I just stop myself.
Why?
Because I want to be inappropriate. Like I just leave it alone. But there are things that I want to say to the people that comment on your page all the time.
Sure, go ahead. Here's
things
open floor.
No,
open
not
floor
like no. I made comments the other day to one of them, and she like deleted all of her comments, and like I wasn't trying to do that. I just was like, you know, stop harassing my partner. But
well, I think it's really interesting because like I was saying, I did a video and I said, like, we don't experience conflict in our relationship. And then we were talking about this the other day, and we were like, what is the reason? Like, why don't we experience conflict? And so then we looked up the definition of conflict, and it said disagreement and struggle, right? Yeah. And so we were like, well, we disagree. We often disagree, but we don't experience struggle. So why don't we experience struggle?
Right. Because one person's not trying to control the other.
Yeah.
So if
and I think that's what it ultimately boiled down to, is like, we recognize that both of us accept the other person as they are and don't need the other person to change. Mm-hmm. And I think it's and I totally get it, because had you said this to me like 3 years ago, I would have thought the exact same thing. I would have thought, well, I was getting a lot of feedback that I must be incredibly avoidant, or both you and I are avoidant. Yeah. Right. But, in order to be avoidant, it would mean that we would like distance ourselves from vulnerability and connection. Right. But I feel like because we're just completely accepting of the other person, that is what creates the vulnerability and connection. Yeah. Right.
What is going on with this cat? She's never done this before. I'm sorry. You'll just have to cut all these chunks out of your editing. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's never done this before. What is she doing?
No, she just wants attention. That's why we should.
Stop giving her catnip. She's crazy. She was doing crazy
It was
things.
the whisker claw.
She was doing crazy things downstairs.
Yeah.
She was like attacking things that weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Calm down. How do we make her stay in one spot?
We can't. You just have to either ignore her.
Okay. I'll try. It's hard. I'll try. She's really trying hard.
Your ADHD is like, Mah!
Yeah. Jackie has more editing to do today.
I have a lot. This is gonna be a big
chop
editing process. Yep.
Sorry. She's nuts. But you said that we don't experience conflict. Like when we have I feel like we have differences of opinion on things or different perspectives, but it doesn't threaten my perspective for you to have one of your own.
Right. And that is, it's so fucking sneaky. So like, I talk a lot about subconscious ego patterns on my page because I'm an identity coach. And that's the biggest tell that their nervous system is still organized around self-preservation, is the inability to allow somebody else to have their own perspective without it feeling like an attack on yours. Mm-hmm. Right. And, you see it all the time. Online is the worst. Yeah. Online is the worst. People online are the worst. Yeah. Everybody is like in what nonstop ego protection, defend to the death. Yeah. You're right. You're wrong. I'm right. I mean, you experience it. What I love most about you is that you are not afraid to like just lay it out however you think. Like, you're just completely authentic. And so if you're in a state where the Karens are pissing you off, you're gonna like completely call it out and be like, stop being such a bitch on my page.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm kind of shocked at the level of like abuse that goes on. Like when you post something and you're trying to be helpful. Yeah. The people that show up, they just say the most off the wall things that I'm like, they've forgotten that like I'm a human being on the other end. Yeah. Like they're staring at a screen. And I'm like, you don't get to just say whatever you want to me. Like if you're going to say whatever, then I'm going to say whatever. Yeah. Like I feel like a lot of times the people in the health space are like coaches or therapists. So like they have to maintain.
There's a level of professionalism. Yeah.
And I don't have that responsibility. I'm a musician who runs an Airbnb who just happened to heal my chronic illness. So I feel like sometimes I'm saying the quiet part out loud. Yeah. And I'm saying what everybody wishes they could say. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes when you act that way, someone needs to tell you to shut up. Yeah. And I don't mind doing that. Yeah. And I don't really care because I'm not a professional. Yeah. I'm not a therapist. So I'm under no obligation to act a certain way.
Yeah. But what is the most interesting part to me is like, I love that about you. Like, I love that you'll just say whatever because you're being truly authentic to who you are, right? That's beautiful. But then you'll say to me like, does me being this way like affect your business or your reputation or whatever? And the only thing I can say to that is it demonstrates what acceptance is. Like, I don't need you to be any different. I don't need to protect my ego. My ego doesn't need protection. I don't need you to look a certain way or behave a certain way. Mm-hmm. Like, you're a completely separate person than me. And I think this is what differentiation is. So many people, like, think about your other relationships and how, and I know that I've had this experience, they needed me to behave a certain way so that they looked a certain way from everybody else's perspective.
Yeah. I had lots of relationships like that where like,
you can't do that. What will people think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like even just me being ill and like it made them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or like they didn't want to be at a hospital.
Yeah.
Or at a doctor's office.
Yeah.
Because it made them uncomfortable or they, something about it just, they didn't want to look at.
What will people think if I'm with somebody who's really sick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I feel like that's most of what I experienced. That's why a lot of people who are chronically ill don't even bother.
Yeah.
To date. It's isolating.
Yeah.
But
because somebody isn't accepting. Well, and at the end of the day, it's about not accepting somebody for who they are and where they are. You've also commented too, like the amount of people you've dated that were like waiting for you to get better.
Yeah, that was everyone that I dated was waiting for me to get better.
Yeah.
They treated it as like, well, I really don't accept what's going on here, but I think maybe if she works on it hard enough, she'll change.
Yeah.
And I'll wait for that.
Yeah.
And then they would be silently resentful that I wasn't getting better.
Yeah.
And every time, and I felt that. So every time that, I had a flare or something, I would feel it, physically and emotionally and feel the like tug in my relationship.
Yeah.
And all of that together.
Well, I think it demonstrates what a lot of people do is they don't live in what is actually happening today. They're living in what they hope will happen in the future. And so whether, somebody's trying to heal from a chronic illness or, just heal their own wounding, if you're waiting for them to be healed before you're actually living in the relationship, then you're going to be forever waiting.
Yep.
And I think that is most people in relationship spaces. They completely ignore what is happening right now. Mm-hmm. And they're waiting for, my partner to no longer be avoidant or for my partner to have capacity or emotional maturity or regulation or whatever it is. There's this constant state of waiting for something that doesn't presently exist.
Well, that's what you told me. You said if you never got better, I would still want to do this with you.
Yeah.
If you never got well, I don't need you to be
any different than what you are. I never did. And I think, and I mean, I'd be curious, how did that land for you?
No one had ever said that to me before in my life. So it shocked me and it took me months to understand what you meant.
Yeah.
But now, that's what love is.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you actually see someone for who they are.
Yeah. You see them for who they are instead of the wounds that they're bringing up inside of you. I think a lot of the struggle I witness that people have in relationships, and was my struggle too, was I wasn't relating to the actual person in front of me. I was relating to the wounds they were triggering inside of me and then asking them to change so that I wouldn't experience those triggers.
Yeah.
So I wasn't actually seeing the person and relating to the actual person. I was relating to myself and my unhealed wounds through them.
That's what most people do.
Yeah, that's what everybody does. Until you get to a state of like 100% self-responsibility. And had you said this to me 4 years ago, I would have been like, that's horseshit. Like, we need to compromise and we need to help each other and we heal through relationship and all of the things. The biggest thing that I have been able to pinpoint that makes, our relationship different than the other relationships I've had in the past is neither one of us puts emotional responsibility on the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I get triggered by something you do, I recognize that one of my wounds is asking for my attention and I am responsible to address it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's vice versa. I don't think that we could have the type of relationship we had if I was trying to like micromanage all of your wounds and you were trying to micromanage all of my wounds.
No, I've been in those relationships.
Yeah.
They're stressful and they don't end well.
Yeah.
That's what most people do, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they would tell you that you're avoidant or
Being abusive.
yeah. For saying that.
You don't care about me. You're being abusive. You don't care about how you're impacting me.
Right.
But I think there's such a huge flaw in all of that logic because two people can have the exact same experience, but if their nervous systems are organized differently, they're going to have a different experience.
I would say our nervous systems are organized differently.
Our nervous systems are, yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's when I need you to change so that I'm not experiencing certain emotions. That's when, we bump up against the conflict in our relationships.
So I think people think, it just sounds like from your comment section, people think that it's normal to like fight and argue and yell and scream and then get to the point where you have to come back and apologize and repair something and fix it because you broke it so bad.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't see things ever getting there.
Yeah.
In this relationship.
Yeah. We never get to that point. We don't get to that point because we each take emotional responsibility for the self.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of a time we've had to repair something really.
No. But I think it ties into like our own personal integrity too. Like I never come to you and I'd be like, you hurt my feelings. I need you to repair. Like that is just not something that would exist in our relationship. If my feelings were hurt by something you said or did, I recognize that that's mine, that it's touching an unintegrated wound of mine. Right. But then at the same time, you also have your own integrity where you're not about to like call me a fucking bitch or anything like that. Like you just wouldn't speak to me that way.
No. And sometimes I say things in not the best way that are harsh. And then I take a walk and come back and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I can acknowledge that whatever you said was coming from, wherever you were at the time. Somebody just left a comment. I did a video about capacity and it's going a little bit crazy right now. Somebody was like, why should I wait around for somebody to, heal themselves? Why should I wait around? And so I flipped it and I said, everybody says this from the state of assuming that they are the more healed one, right? And so you are perceiving the person you're with as less healed than you, which is ironic. They don't see the irony. But anyways, what if you met somebody and they were more healed than you? Would you want them to walk away from you because you didn't quite have the capacity to meet them?
Right. From
my personal experience, the only reason, I have built the capacity that I have and have, the space I have is because somebody who was more integrated than me held space for me while I sorted it out.
Yeah.
And so now I've developed that capacity and now I can offer that to somebody. And I'm not saying that I perceive myself as, more healed than you. I think you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to do. and you're perfect just the way you are, and you don't need to change. If you want to, that's your choice, but there's never going to be pressure from me for you to.
I don't know what to say to that. I don't have anything else to add. I think you got it.
This wasn't the conversation we're planning on having.
No. I'm not exactly sure what conversation we were going to have. We said we were going back to relationship stuff.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Because we'd been talking so much about, MCAS and that lately.
Yeah. Well, with the MCAS people, this is interesting. The people that I talk to in the health space, when I ask them, like, I get that you're like, you think you're sick from mold and all these things, but like, what's going on in your emotional world?
Mm-hmm.
And so many people say, well, right before I got sick, my mom died. Right before I got sick, my aunt died. Right before I got sick, I got divorced. And I'm like, did you have any of these symptoms before? No. I'm like, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Do you not think those two things are connected?
Yeah.
And people don't think about that.
I've had similar conversations with people where, I've tried the brain retraining. It's not working. It's, this and that and whatever. But then, I ask about other elements of their life, and they're in a job they hate. They're in a relationship that's toxic. There's all of these other emotional aspects that they're not dealing with, but they're only focused on symptoms, and they wonder why, things aren't getting better.
They're literally spending 8 hours a day in a toxic environment.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't know why I'm so dysregulated and stressed and can't calm down and can't keep eating sugar and can't keep drinking alcohol and can't keep having panic attacks. I'm like, you're spending like the majority of your day in a place that's killing you emotionally and like suppressing your voice and everything else.
And I think somebody made a comment, I think on one of your videos, or maybe, one of our podcast clips, about the relationship, like the nervous system's relationship to pain, to physical pain and emotional pain. Like it's the exact same thing. And if it's sending you signals that you, like emotional signals that you ignore or you override, it's going to start sending physical signals because you're not listening to the emotional ones.
Yep. And then people say, well, MCAS is progressive. It gets worse and worse and worse. Well, why do you think that is?
Yeah.
Like the alarms get louder and louder and louder and louder because you're not addressing them. You're not listening to them.
Yeah.
You're continuing to work at the job that's killing you. You continue to be in a narcissistic relationship with somebody who's abusive towards you. Like you just keep doing it. The alarms get louder and louder and louder.
And all of that is what I call self-abandonment. You just your body is sending messages and you're choosing to ignore it. You are abandoning yourself.
Yep.
And so then the nervous system learns that it learns to not trust you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to warn you. I'm trying to send you messages and you're not listening. And so I'm going to get louder and I'm going to make it more severe. And I'm going to, take this away and take that away and do all of these things because you're not actually listening to me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's interesting that the connection is really interesting.
There are people that get well just by getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
It really depends on the person.
Well, there's a correlation. I think there's studies about a correlation between emotional stress and autoimmune disease.
There is. Yep. All the evidence is there.
Yeah. And as you've said before, a lot of people that are, diagnosed with MCAS, most of them, if not all of them, have severe trauma.
Yep. And there are some things that people don't perceive as trauma. And they say, oh, well, yeah, nothing really bad ever happened to me. But then when you think about like, even just getting COVID, a lot of people get MCAS because they had COVID. COVID is this virus that comes into your body and dysregulates your entire body and your entire immune system. That is traumatic to your immune system. Your immune system mounts this monster defense to try and keep you alive. It thinks you're going to die. It's trying to keep you alive. That is enough to keep you stuck in a loop, to keep your immune system hyper responsive and overreactive. Just from having something like that. And you don't perceive it as traumatic, but it was so traumatic for your system. Even just like, honestly, the entire era of COVID was traumatic.
Yeah,
I believe everyone is a bit traumatized from 2020.
Well, and everybody, I talk about this in my book. And like, I grew up believing that trauma was the event was an external event. What I came to recognize in my own growth is that trauma is actually the imprint of that event on your nervous system. It's not actually the event. It's what that taught your nervous system about survival, about identity, and identity is a big one. Like if I have this this emotionally traumatic experience as a child where, I learn through observing my parents and my experiences that I'm a piece of shit human being, that's going to be imprinted on my nervous system and my identity construction throughout my entire life until I reconcile it.
Yeah.
And the problem with children is they don't have the brains, like they don't have the prefrontal cortex yet to be able to discern that the way my parents are behaving are actually reflections of them and not of my worth. Children internalize everything.
Well, something I didn't think about is that I was in mold my entire life, but I only developed, I guess, symptoms of mold illness when I was 29, 30 years old.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because every house that I ever lived in was very moldy. It's in old houses in Florida. And, it wasn't until like I feel like I just had enough like emotional like dysregulation and like enough shitty relationships and bad experiences at work and stress from my life until it all kind of culminated. Like the last straw was like a really abusive relationship that I was in before everything just fell apart. And it's just interesting because I feel like my environment in terms of like physical environment, mold and chemicals and all the things they say cause disease were always there.
Yeah.
And I had no symptoms.
Yeah. Until
like I just had so much stress and I was just so overwhelmed. It's like it finally broke.
Yeah.
So I do feel like the thing that started my chronic illness was not getting COVID or being in mold. It was like just one abusive relationship too many.
Yeah.
And then it all kicked off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. And then the death of my parent. And like then everything. That's what the first time I used an EpiPen was after my mom died.
Yeah.
And like you can't ignore that those things are related.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if it really was the environment causing it, like everyone says, then how do you explain that I had no symptoms until my emotional world came collapsing or came falling down?
So then it makes you question the whole theory online about root cause. Right? Like I've heard you talk about in the mold space or in the MCAS space, this whole idea of a root cause. But is the root cause the mold or is the root cause repeated emotional trauma over your entire life?
Right. Because the thing is, a lot of times there will be a family that lives in a moldy house and maybe just the wife is sick. The husband has like...
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah. The husband might have like, he clears his throat once in a while.
Yeah.
And then, the kids feel absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
How is it possible that all these people live in the same house together? One person is on death's door and the other people are functioning totally normal.
Yeah.
The difference, people will say, oh, they have different genes, blah, blah, blah. I feel like usually it's that their emotional worlds are different. Their trauma is different. I feel like the trauma like loads the gun.
And especially with women, because women are more likely to have autoimmune disease than men, but women are also conditioned to self-abandon.
Yep.
More than men.
Yep. And it's just more traumatic to be a woman in the world than it is a man in general. Like just thinking about walking outside. Like if anyone disagrees, like
pick the bear,
right? Go take a walk tonight. Most women will
pick the bear.
Go pick a neighborhood to take a walk in tonight.
Yeah.
And like see how that feels.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that your environment turns these things on and off. I think that changing your emotional state has more impact than, doing $100,000 mold remediation to your house.
Yeah.
But it's not profitable for anyone to say that. So
changing your emotional state is key. I think that's at the root of all of this, right? If my emotional state is dependent on the external environment to be a certain way in order for me to feel okay, then I'm always going to be chasing something outside of me to feel okay. But if my emotional state is internal and I can find that peace and that safety within me, then it doesn't matter what the outside world does. The outside world can do whatever it does, but I continue to come back to myself and find my safety in myself.
Yep.
And that works whether we're talking about chronic illness, it works whether we're talking about relationships, all relationships. Like if I'm an adult and my parent still has the ability to dysregulate me, then it's telling me that I'm still tying my safety to their approval.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's just something that I think we need to have more discussions about, because we live in a world where it's almost like everybody needs it to change in order for them to be okay. Mm-hmm. I used to be really big into spirituality, and we were talking about this the other day, this whole idea of like in the spiritual world about 3D and 5D, 3D earth and 5D earth, and going across these different dimensions and whatever. But from my experience, the circumstances don't change. What changes is my state, my emotional state, and how I relate to those things.
Yep.
So if you're in a state of waiting for things to change, you will be in that state forever, because waiting is a state too.
And you'll be trying to control everyone and everything around you.
Yeah.
That's what the mold avoider people do.
Yeah.
They try to control their environment. They spend their entire life savings trying to control and change their environment. Mm-hmm. That's what I did.
You did it for so long.
It. So I have a brand new house in Florida and a brand new van. But if I want to live with my fiance, I have to accept an imperfect environment.
Yeah.
And be okay in that.
Yeah. Yeah. But at least your nervous system is safe here.
Right. I sleep fine here.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all I got.
All right. We can wrap
I
it
don't
up.
know. What are we doing today?
You got music videos to shoot today.
Yeah, and you're finishing a book.
And I'm going to finish our book for everybody who lives in mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to get those test results back soon.
Yeah.
For this house.
Yeah.
And they're going to be off the charts with mold.
Yes. Can't wait to share that.
Yep.